Hey there. Okay, here's a pretty good one. This one's the Bullish Morning Star. Alright, and the Bullish Morning Star comprises of 3 candles. Okay, and your initial trend direction will be a downtrend. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our screen draw pen out. Alright, initial trend direction is a downtrend. Okay, then the next thing we need to look for is the long candle. It's going to be pretty long. Well, not too long, but longer than most of the others out there. Alright, and then the next candle you want to see one that looks a little bit like this, and then the next one's going to be a different color. Alright, it doesn't need to close higher than the previous high, or this high doesn't need to be higher than the first day's high or anything like that. That's just fine as it is. But what you need now is a confirmation, right? A secondary candle as a confirmation. Okay, now because of the sentiment here, I'm going to do another picture illustration in a moment, but this particular illustration here is a weaker one of the two that I'm about to draw. You see that this is where our close is, and this is actually where it actually closes. Alright, so there's the high. So this is actually a strong signal in regards to this formation where you have 2 down candles, and then you've got the bullish sentiment. This is a lot better when you've got 2 red candles like this, but if it's a blue candle, then you don't really need to worry about this closes where the actual confirmation candle where it closes. If it's 2 red candles, you need to really make sure that the confirmation closes higher than the first candle's high here. Alright, now if it was a different setup, like where we have a candle right around about here, and then we have another one, but this time it's a blue candle, this one has a stronger meaning behind it, to go up a lot higher, and the next candle's high doesn't necessarily need to close higher than the high of this candle. It can still be the same, but we want the wick to be higher. Okay, if the wick is higher than that high, then that's fine. Alright, but in this particular example, because we had 2 red candles down the bottom here, we need to make sure that the close is a powerful close, and to ensure that it's a powerful sentiment, we want to make sure that it's actually closing higher than this first one. Alright, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's take you over to the trading station, and I've got one here marked out already, and this is the Morning Star. So let's go ahead and see if I can locate, as I always seem to lose my spot when I'm zooming in. Okay, we're in here somewhere. Okay, we've lost ourselves. Okay, we did have one here. Oh, here we are, because I had auto scroll on. Alright, let's zoom in on that section right there. Okay, and here is the Morning Star. Now the Morning Star does come in 2 forms. There's one that actually doesn't have a body on it, okay, which is the Doji Star. Alright, so here is our downtrend, as we've shown you before. Okay, and we had this red bear candle right here as well, and then we're followed by a bull star, and then there's a bull candle right there. So that's pretty good sentiment. Here what we're looking for is that this closes higher or around about equal. That's pretty close, but that's also pretty good that it's closed at more or less equal that level, and then you can go long and target the middle band here. Alright, this is a 15-minute time frame, so you're not going to get many pips out of it. You probably get about 10-15 pips on these kind of little trades and what have you. Alright, so there is your downtrend. Now if this was a red bar and this one was a blue bar, then I would like to see that this closed higher, and then I would have gone long on it. But because it's a blue one, then I would have gone long on it anyway. Okay, and it's also happened at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which is also cool. Alright, now these morning stars are pretty hard to find, so I'm hoping that this will be a good enough example. Okay, it's an inverted hammer. Maybe let's try some different. Let's just pause for a moment. Okay, here's another one that I found. Alright, here is the downtrend right here. Alright, and then there's your formation. Now this is like, it's got like a long wick on here as well. The previous example that I showed you didn't really have a long wick, and it didn't really go up that high, right? So when you see a morning star and you see that this middle candle has a very long bottom wick on it, that's very good sentiment. Alright, especially when you see this formation starting to appear. What it's basically saying is that the downtrend was being continued. Alright, it was trying to be, fought against with the bulls right here with this white candle there. Then we've had some, indecisiveness in the market. Then the market's pushed itself down, and look, it's come all the way down to this low here. Alright, and then the bulls have stepped in and said, no, we're not having none of this. We want to take it back up to the top. Alright, and then the next time you see this close, it's actually closed higher than the previous high. So that's sentiment in itself that the bulls have taken control. Right, we can also see that the bulls did actually push it up to the top of this middle Bollinger Band. Okay, so again, that's pretty good enough sentiment that the trend is about to change. We don't know how long it's going to change for, but in this particular instance, you can see that if you got in on this particular candle, you don't need to wait for the next candle, really, for this particular setup. Okay, especially when it's happening at the bottom of trends, but always be extra careful anyway. Alright, and this one went up quite high, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, so those little bullish morning stars only happen at the bottom of the trends. And I mean, if you see like this middle candles come down a little bit lower, that's fine. I mean, when you don't have this particular indicator, like this one here, this is like classed as a morning star as well, but because there's a couple of other formations that overlap it, we've got the bearish Harami, and then we've got the Three-lnside up, and the Three-lnside up is a very powerful indicator. I mean, it's actually more powerful than the morning star, so I think this is why this one's been overlapped with the Three-lnside up. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this one's basically doesn't really look no different to this one. Okay, I think the only difference here is that the high of the first candle wasn't broken by the other two candles after it, where this one was. So this is why it's made. This one's why it's a little bit different, but they look very similar. Okay, but these Three-lnside ups are very very powerful, because basically the Three-lnside up is actually a Harami confirmation. All right, but we'll get into that in into the other videos. But yeah, so there you go. So there's you can try your best to try and get these right. I mean, like here it looks like a bottom of a downtrend. Here is kind of like the evening star right here. Okay, and then you can take it to that level, but it's not actually an evening star. All right, so something else. I don't think that actually even qualifies as anything, but it looks similar to one. All right, but the first bar that you're looking for needs to be a pretty long bar, like this one here, for instance. I mean, again, this one would look okay as a morning star as well. but this middle bar didn't come down lower than the first bar. But the first bar, this black one here, is quite large in length. That's your main key. That's what you need to look out for. Alright, so I will leave you with that video, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye for now.